I'm pleased with the power. I'm pleased. The fitment on everything is super nice and tight. It's just all around a really good machine. I love how you can set it up, run off shop power, or you can run right off the machine. My favorite thing about it is its portability. And my other favorite thing is that it had everything in the kit that I needed to go straight to work. I love how the case sets up. When you're out on the job site, if you don't have a table or the bed of your truck, it's nice to be able just to kind of set everything on the provided equipment. As far as the flex boxes go, I love them. Oh my gosh, I am so thankful I have this machine. My name is Jackson Pederson, and I own Action Welding out of Southport, North Carolina. And we've been in business since about 2016. And we do everything from structural steel to process piping, and especially line boring. And in between jobs on the road and bigger structural jobs and pipe jobs, this thing right here has made a great living for myself, and I'm thoroughly glad I got it. It's very easy to set up and use, and all you gotta do is start boring. I started out back in 2016 with a generator and a little Miller Maxstar, and I started just welding anything that anybody would let me weld on, and was always kind of into heavy equipment. I kept getting phone calls for line boring and didn't know much about it, and I'd always gotten calls about it, and finally I was like, I'm gonna start doing some research. And I did my research and looked at Climax, looked at some of the other brands, and they were just kind of way out of my price range. One of the biggest things for me buying this was I wanted to get brand new. That way I had everything that it needed, and this was way more in my price range than the other one was, because it was triple the price and it didn't even come with the welding attachment for it. So I had to get that, which was an extra, an extra $4,000 or $5,000. When I was telling my wife I was going to get it, she had her doubts, and I said, look, honey, I said, it's going to be fine. You drove up and called me and said, hey, I'm headed to North Carolina. I'll drop your machine off. And I was like, well, that's perfect. I was like, bring it on. So one of the main reasons I got the machine is one of my best friends growing up, he's in demolition, and he has a Doosan 225, and it has been through the ringer. The grease worms got to it. It's just been abused. And so he had about 4 different spots on the machine that he wanted bored, and so the next day after I got this thing, I set up on that and pretty much got most of the experience I needed on that machine, and it paid for itself pretty much on that one machine. Everything was pretty much plug and play, to where we had everything we needed, from you dropping it off to putting it in the truck to going to the job. It was that simple. I had a problem with the welding portion of it one day. It just, the welder just wouldn't kick on. And I had everything set up on the machine. I was an hour away from the house. I was like, why isn't this thing working? And I made one phone call, and he said it was the safety. I just wasn't waiting long enough to turn the safety on and off. It was a simple fix, but somebody answered the phone, got me to the person I needed to talk to, and within a couple minutes I was like, oh, all right, thank you, and right back to work. So instead of having to say, well, hey, I can't do it today, or it's not working, you can just say, hold on one second, let me call somebody, and get somebody on the phone. Usually, you call anybody, you gotta wait, press 1, sit there and wait, then you talk to an automated service. But no, it was straight through, talk to somebody real. Everything's made really well. You got everything you need in the case, and they send extra parts, extra screws to tighten everything in, and so it works out great. Just for something to come with everything in it minus the suitcase, it was ready to go. It was even had the plug with the extension. It was just had everything, so it was really nice. The way y'all set it up in the pack out case, it just makes it so nice to already have it like that. Already have it, in a hard case just to throw in the truck and go, or keep it in the shop. And you can set it up to where it's like a little rack for it, So definitely very, very portable. I am not a brand-driven guy, and I know Milwaukee's got his name for itself, but when I was talking to you guys on the phone, the salesman was like, you know what, honestly it fits in the Flex package better. than the Milwaukee, and I was like, well, give me flex, you know. They've held up great. I mean, this equipment's heavy. I don't know what the total dry weight of it is, but I mean, it is, it's not light, and these boxes are handling it perfect. And my buddies with Milwaukee are like, man, that's nice. It's got the gas shocks on it, and I mean, it's really it's a great case, you know. And this thing is all self-contained, one unit. I wheel it in the corner when I'm done with it. I wheel it out when I'm ready to use it. It does a great job. I mean, it's got a ton of power, and you know, I've tried to cut some thicker cuts where I probably shouldn't have done it, and it powers right through it. Having this really allows us to get everything aligned. We're not involving the machine shop anymore. We can kind of build up and take off what we need now with this. I've got a lot of customers I wouldn't have got. You know, a lot of guys have their welder that they use that lives down the road from them or whatever, but then they can't line bore. And so then they call me, and then I go out there and they're like, wow, you know, you're a whole lot better than Jim Bob. Like, come over here and weld sometimes for me. So, not trying to take anybody's work, but then again, you do get some good clients along with it, because a lot of times they don't just have one piece of equipment, they've got a couple of them. So it definitely helps just grow.
What are your customers saying about the final product?
They love it. They love it. They're very pleased with it, and they love how efficient it is, and just how I'm able to go there and do it, or they can bring it to me and do it, and it's always, I mean, it's always perfect every time, as long as you get everything set up right, you know.